got a lock on the ooze man.
Ah, here comes that cute little pink ranger to the rescue.
Oh, you think she's cute too, huh?
It's such a great scene because we were all thinking it. And the fact that it's Goldar, it just adds to the humor.
Now it's Radventure time. Let's kick it into action. All right, you rascals, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie from 1995. And yeah, this is a great one. I love this movie. This came out at like the perfect time. I remember I loved the show, of course. So it was just cool when this movie came out because even though the show was so popular already, now it was like a movie and that just like heightened the popularity. I remember even the experience of seeing the movie was like so memorable because first of all, it came out in the summer and I didn't have school. So summer was always a fun time. No responsibilities, swimming, all that kind of fun stuff. And now this like movie of this TV show that I love. So that was cool. And then we also went to the drive-in to see it. So like at a drive-in, it's usually like a big screen and it's outdoors at night. So we went in the car, but then we like all sat on the floor. Like me and my cousins went. So like it was also a shared experience with my cousins. And yeah, like it was just such a memorable experience because, we usually just went to the movie theater. So to go to the drive-in was kind of like a special thing. And for this movie, like sharing it with my cousins and being out at night, and it was just like such an awesome experience. Yeah, mate, this movie's great and all, but I just don't like that Joker, Ivan Ooze, pretty much takes the role of my buddy Rito Revolto, because, the movie's kind of an alternate universe technically, and in the world of the TV show, my buddy Rito, he's the one who brings the Tenga Warriors and sort of acts as the Ivan Ooze role, if you will. But in the movie, Ivan Ooze kind of steals the show. And it's like, hey man, what about Rito Revolto?
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Like, technically, this movie is sort of an alternate universe from the TV show. They never like explicitly say that, but the TV show does do a version of this same story. This is either like a retelling or just a different version. And to speak a little bit about these differences, we also have our guest today, Rita Repulsa.
After 10,000 years, you introduce me. Now, if you're done yapping, I can talk about how this version is nothing like the experience I had. I'm the real Rita Repulsa. Sure, the one in this movie's got those movie star looks, but she's not a real witch like me.
All right, Rita. Anyways, so right off the bat, we start off with an action scene. The Rangers skydiving for some sort of fundraiser to save the observatory, although not if Ivan Ooze has anything to say about it. And all the Rangers are jumping out of the plane, saying their like little catchphrases. And of course, Tommy always has to be different. So he's got this like snowboard or like skyboard or whatever as he jumps out. I mean, it doesn't seem like it really does anything, but he's the leader, so he's got to look cool. And I'm not going to lie, I thought it looked cool. So I hate to admit it, but it worked. And Tommy being the cool one is sort of demonstrated through the character of Fred because as Tommy's jumping, Fred shouts, and he doesn't say go Rocky or go Kimberly.
Man, hey, maybe next time you can join us.
Really? Could I?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that, Fred, in about 10 or 12 years, all right?
Oh yeah, and this movie was filmed in Australia, so a lot of the other characters are going to be local hires that have to sort of hide their Australian accents to varying degrees of success.
Yeah, I didn't do so bad.
Bulk and Skull jump out of the plane late, and they wind up at a construction site, which just so happens to be where the evil Ivan Ooze was buried 6,000 years ago. He's a morphological being.
Morphological being? What the heck is that?
Who's been trapped in the ground for thousands of years, similar to Rita Repulsa, although not quite as long, because as we know...
Yeah, 10,000 years!
So then Rita and Zed release Ivan Ooze, hoping that he's going to help them defeat Zordon and the Rangers.
Yeah, that was our first mistake. This Joker steals the show, which means less screen time for me and my Zeddy.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I do wish that Rita and Zed had more to do in this movie, but I understand why they needed like a new, bigger villain. Someone powerful enough to raise the stakes, but also someone that they could, permanently eliminate at the end of the movie. Zordon lets the Rangers know about the threat of Ivan Ooze, and Ivan sends out these ooze men. So the Rangers finally have to morph. And I don't know if this is intentional, but while they're morphing, like the ooze men go and hide, which is something I always kind of thought was funny that like whenever they morph or make the Megazord or anything like that, the monster is kind of just politely sitting there waiting for them to do it. And maybe it's like a reverse Gavin situation where like in Gavin, first he transforms instantly and then they sort of go back and say like, let's see how this happened in slow-mo. And they show like what's happening. So maybe it's like that where we see it
in slow-mo first, but in reality it's happening in like an instant. But you know, it's just funny that these oozmen are the first to like kind of take advantage of that for the first time. Like, okay, well, they're over there shouting their names and stuff, so let's go hide, guys. And man, I love this scene. So night scenes in Power Rangers is always a cool thing for some reason. I don't know why. It just is. Maybe because it's rare. But yeah, but I like the fact that they all get to use their like sort of like special features here. Like Aisha with the bright lights, and then Rocky with that cool like scanner like visor thing. Billy's got a little grappling hook thing, and they all got like some sort of like upgrade to their costumes. I wish they would have done this in the show. I don't know like what happened with the costumes versus the show. I guess they didn't have the rights to use them or whatever. At least like the helmets, they couldn't have taken the helmets, but whatever. Even though the movie is technically a different continuity than the TV show, like whenever I played Power Rangers, Rocky had that visor or Aisha had those high beams. You know, I still made them use those special features even if it wasn't canon to the TV show. And I still think it would be cool to have toys of these. Like, I think there's like one official set of the movie characters, or I guess if you count the McDonald's ones, those are another version. But yeah, like it would be so cool to have toys of these like helmets. But while the Rangers are busy fighting the Oozmen, Ivan Ooze goes straight to the command center. And when Ivan enters the command center, I love how Alpha tries to like karate chop him as if that's gonna like do anything. But it does kind of remind me of like when I was a kid and I would play and I would use the character of Alpha. I would like imagine that lightning bolt on his chest actually like shot out like lightning bolts, kind of like a Care Bear stare, if you will. So kind of like what evil Green Ranger Tommy did. Ivan destroys their connection to the Morphin grid, wipes out their weapons and Zords, and leaves Zordon outside of his time warp, rapidly aging and close to death. Meanwhile, Ivan wastes no time betraying Rita and Zed, taking over their palace and recruiting the parents of Angel Grove, to excavate his ectomorphicon titans. Ivan goes over his plan with Goldar and Mordant. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Mordant is like this like pig character. Like I guess he takes the place of Squat and Babu, but he's a movie exclusive character. He still has nothing on the Pudgy Pig though. But yeah, Ivan Ooze is like one of the few Power Rangers villains that has like an actual plan, and it's a pretty good one too. Like oftentimes like they'll say I have a plan, and it's like send another monster. It's like, okay, yeah, you did that last week. But Ivan's got like an actual plan to like brainwash the parents and have them dig up his ectomorphicons, and then he can use those to take over the world or whatever. So yeah, I mean, that's like a legitimate plan with like actual stakes. So I think it makes for like a pretty good movie. So with the Rangers completely powerless, Alpha sends them to the planet Phaedos, where an ancient force known as the Great Power may be able to save Zordon. On Phaedos, we get this scene between Kimberly and Tommy where the movie kind of finally starts to slow down a little bit, give them some time to have like an actual conversation and, you know, like talk about how they're feeling about Zordon and everything going on. And I do like that they get to have this moment. I mean, it's a little unfortunate that it's mainly Tommy and Kimberly that gets moments like this. Adam, Aisha, and Rocky, unfortunately, don't get too much to do other than, you know, they have their one-liners and whatnot, but I don't know if they have much character interactions like this. And, you know, with a lot of characters, I get that that's going to happen, but in a movie, you have the time to do that. I mean, just don't take too much time to do that. I'm looking at you, 2017. Like, it's still a Power Rangers movie, but it would have been nice if some of the other characters got a little bit more moments like this. Ivan Ooze sends his Tengu warriors to Phaedos to attack the Rangers, but luckily Dulcia shows up. So Dulcia talks to the Rangers and she says,
Ivan Ooze is a monster.
And it's like, yeah, no schnit. They just interacted with him, fought his Oozmen and his Tengu warriors. So yeah, you think? But she lets them know she's going to help them find the Great Power because
you were chosen by Zordon. I have faith in his wisdom.
Excuse me, technically I chose Tommy. So all you little Ranger fans out there have me to thank for giving you one of the coolest Rangers ever.
I mean, yeah, technically, but Zordon was still the one who chose to let Tommy stay on the team after he was freed from your spell.
Whatever, I have a headache.
So before they go, Dulcia gives them these new ninjetti powers, and they all get their little spirit animal. And of course, we all love Adam's spirit animal when he says,
I'm a frog.
Dulcia reassures him like, yeah, you know, a frog, but the kind you kiss to get a handsome prince. And yeah, you know, that's always like a funny line. And like, you get that sort of like little flirtatious moment with Dulcia. So that's always kind of fun. In the TV show, instead of Dulcia, they have Ninjor giving them their powers. And yeah, I just thought it'd be funny if they did this scene exactly the same, but with Ninjor and, you know, go a little something like this.
Adam, what's wrong?
I'm a frog.
Yes, a frog, like the kind you kiss to get a handsome prince.
Meanwhile, in Angel Grove, the kids are going wild since all their parents are zombified by Ivan's ooze, and Fred tries to get them to like come to their senses as the main song from the movie starts playing. Uh-oh, we're in trouble, something's come along and it burst our bubble, yeah, yeah. And man, this song brings back so many memories of that summer. The "We're in Trouble" by Shampoo, and yeah, like it didn't really sound like the rock songs from the TV show, but yeah, it was just such a fun song, and somehow it worked for the movie, and it really set the vibe of like these unsupervised kids just living it up, not really thinking about why their parents weren't around, but taking advantage of this freedom that they have. But luckily, Fred has enough common sense to like get them all to realize like, hey, we need to rescue our parents, man. And once the Rangers finally claim the great power, their Ranger powers are restored and they return to Angel Grove with their new Ninja Zords just in time to face Ivan's Ectomorphicon Titans.
Alright guys, I've got a lock on the ooze man.
Ah, here comes that cute little Pink Ranger to the rescue.
Oh, you think she's cute too, huh?
It's such a great scene because we were all thinking it, and the fact that it's Goldar, it just adds to the humor. Once the parents are done extracting Ivan's ectomorphicons, he sends them to go jump off a cliff, but Fred and the other kids do their best to keep their parents from jumping off. And again, such a great scene. Any kid watching at the time, they can put themselves in this position, like even though it's like fantastical, of course, like you just know like if your parents were in danger, despite being just a kid, you would do like whatever you could to help them. And these are like awesome Zords. Like I don't know, I have a special like affinity for these ones because they were in the movie and then you got to see them each week on the TV show too. So yeah, like that season 3 was like one of my favorites, and it had the Ninja Zords. It had a lot of stuff from the movie. So yeah, like I loved that season. But yeah, these Zords are so cool. I mean, look at the Falcon Zord, like the way he like swoops in like that and then shoots out all the missiles. Oh, this is like the perfect Zord for Tommy because it's like reminiscent of the Dragon Zord who had missiles coming out of his fingers, and now he's got missiles coming out of the wings. So I thought that was like a cool parallel. Like even though like the Falcon Zord technically wasn't even the Zord of the main Ranger in the Super Sentai, I don't know if the fact that it was Tommy's Zord but helped lead me to think it was cool, but yeah, I loved the Falcon Zord. So they finally make the Megazord, and look, I know these graphics aren't great. Like this is some pretty rough CGI. I do kind of wish they just used suits, because they have suits for Ivan Ooze, for the Oozeman and all that. Like why not use it for the Zords? But whatever, that's a whole issue. Like it's fine. Like Ivan's little ectomorphicons look more like something that John and Sarah Connor would fight in that like Terminator the Ride or whatever.
Oh no.
And so the kids are still trying to keep their parents from falling off the cliff. And for the longest time, I thought it was the hose that they're spraying him with that like washed off the ooze and I guess like stopped them from being brainwashed, which I remember thinking was kind of lame. Like, however, after many rewatches, I've seen like they lose their brainwashing as soon as Ivan Ooze dies. So, that's a more logical explanation. But yeah, so then the Rangers return to the command center, but Zordon's like, they're too late. Like Zordon's already gone. But luckily Tommy's like, no, you know what? Dulcia said the great power can do anything. So let's work together, let's put our hands together, and they're able to bring Zordon back, and like somehow brings the command center back too, and like everything's great. And then they have this great end scene where like everything's back to normal. They're having like a big celebration.
I heard you're in line to be a ranger yourself one of these days. Fred Kelman, the Gold Ranger.
Uh-oh, Jason, you better watch out. Fred's coming for your spot. So yeah, that's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie from 1995. No real complaints. Loved everything about it.
I quit glazing. Yeah, and it would have been better with more Rito Revolto. Right, Rito? Yeah, that's right, Hellfire. Now, come on, let's get going. I want to go to that observatory. Take a look at the comet. Oh, hey, sis. Oi, mate. I've told you 1,000 times. It's Scalefire, not Hellfire. I'm a bloody skeleton like you, mate. Get it? Scalefire? Whatever. Come on, let's go. Alright,
everybody. Thanks for watching. If you appreciate the work I do here, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. Make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But until next time, everybody, see ya!